Hello, Crush It campers. Welcome to week 3. So now that you guys are experts at booking parties and hostess coaching, now we're going to talk about recruiting. Okay, this is the magical piece. And recruiting is actually pretty easy, and there's so many ways to do it. So I'm going to talk to you about 4 ways on how to recruit. So you can recruit before the party, you can recruit during, you can recruit after, and you can recruit using a VIP page, social media, that kind of stuff, without having it intertwined with a party. Let's talk about recruiting before the party. So Andrea did a great job about talking about hostess coaching. Now when you are hostess coaching, you're coaching your host to have the best party, because remember, they don't know what they're doing without you. Okay, you guys are a partnership. You can ask them if they would like to do their own party. So they could do their launch party. So what that means is they are the host and they are the consultant. So you lose out on their party, but they're going to do it. And of course, it's going to benefit you in the long run once you become a leader. And that's just the goal, is to have more people spreading the mission and having people join your team. So you can ask them if they would like to do their own launch party. That's pretty cool. So that's before the party. Now you can recruit during the party, and you could do this with many different ways. So you could do the best deal in the catalog. So when you're doing your party, we have a graphic on Team Powerhouse. I'll put it in this link in the comments, in the thread. But basically you just glue the graphic on the top of your catalog, and during your presentation you just keep saying, you know, here's the best deal in the catalog, here's what you can get for $9.99, and you can do that. So that's a great little plug to have on the front of the catalog. You can do Ask Me About My Job game. Courtney's genius at this. I will link one of her videos below. But basically you just have people ask you about your job using these solution cards, and they're the opportunity ones, and that's a way to do it. You can ask them at a party. Love that. The thing that we learned from leadership conference, is using a golden ticket. So what I've been doing during my parties is at the end I will hold up a golden ticket, you know, like the Willy Wonka ticket, and I will say something like, So what I say is, has anyone ever watched the movie Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory? And people are like, oh yeah. And I'm like, okay, so you know the golden ticket? And they're all like, mm-hmm. And I say, well, I have your golden ticket, and it's about the Norwex business. So if you want to learn more about what I do and the golden ticket that I have, feel free to talk to me at checkout. That's it. That's pretty easy. So you can do a bunch of different things, but stick with one thing. Do not do the solution cards and then the golden opportunity. Just don't do everything. Just stick with one and just see how it goes, okay? So there's recruiting in a party. Recruiting after the party, this is where I personally have most of my successes. I recruit after the party. So you can recruit after the party in 2 different ways. What you can do is when you're doing your follow-up texts. So what I do, well, I have a program that I use now. I use Project Broadcast. But before I had Project Broadcast, I would just sit with the people's order forms, and I would text them after the party, and I would text them at the 2-week mark. I now do the 2-day, 2-week, and 2-month mark, but when I'm just sitting and texting on my phone, I don't want to do a bunch of different texts because it takes forever. So I would just do the 2-week mark, and I would just say, hey Katie, it's Allison Walsh, your Norwex consultant from April's party. Are you loving your body pack and basic package, ? And then they would answer like, oh, I love it, or I'm not sure how to use it, blah, blah, blah. And then I would give them instructions on either how to use it, or if they love it, I would say, I'm so glad you love it. Have you considered the Norwex opportunity, or have you considered joining the business? Have you considered doing what I do, ? So that's kind of how I recruit after the party. So you can use follow-up text by doing that, and you can do it at a certain mark. So you can decide if you want to do it a week after, 2 weeks after, a couple days after the party. You can decide. Now, there are sometimes at the party when you can overhear people saying that they need more money, or they love to clean, or they're looking for a side business, or they're bored, or whatever. You can just kind of listen and hear what people are saying, and obviously you're going to make connections and relationships. So sometimes, let's say you have someone that kind of like asks a million questions and they love Norwex, that's kind of going to be your person that you're going to target after the party. So, for example, I'm going to call this girl Katie. After the party, let's say I noticed that she was just asking tons of questions. She was really involved. And the day after the party, I will literally text her and be like, hey, Katie, I noticed at the party you were like super into Norwex and had so many questions. You would be really good at it. Hang on. What, buddy? I'll be right there. So I noticed you're really interested and you loved the product. Have you considered doing what I do? Just having a dialogue with somebody. So I do that so often. I will connect with people and text them right away. And then in all my follow-up texts, when I do my follow-up, I ask every single person if they would consider joining the business at question mark. So I do that to every single person because you don't want to make any judgments. Remember, this is not about you and how you feel about somebody. You don't want to take the opportunity away from somebody that may be interested. They just didn't tell you about it. So just ask every single person. If they tell you no, who cares? Love that. Oh, yes. And finally, you can recruit not even with having a party. So you can have a VIP group on Facebook as long as it's closed, and you can recruit in there. So on my Tuesdays, I do Tippy Tuesdays every single Tuesday, and I give something away that I feature in the video for free. Cole, I'm coming, buddy. And I will often do a Tippy Tuesday once a month about the opportunity. So I'll say, hey, ask me any question you have. You okay? Come here. Come here. So I will just say, ask me about my job. And I give away something. And I do that once a month. And people get to ask, and they get to find out more about my job. And a lot of times I will recruit from those people in those comments, because sometimes you'll be like, someone will say like, that's amazing, I didn't even know it was $9.99, and you message them and you say, hey, I know $9.99 is super easy, do you want to hear more information? And then I will send them a Loom video that I created. So I will link all the videos that I talked about beneath. And what I want to hear from you guys is which strategy you're going to implement. Are you going to implement recruiting before your party? Well, you should all do that anyway. Tell me the strategy you're going to implement during your party and the verbiage you're going to use during your follow-up, okay? What are you going to say when you follow up with them, asking them about the business? So I want to know those two things. And I'll see you guys in the thread, and have a great week. Say Team Powerhouse.
Team Powerhouse.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.